Hi guys, Jabron again, back with D7000. I've had it for about a week. I'm going to tell you the performance, my opinion of the camera. Couple of basic things I wanted to go over. You guys already know probably 39 autofocus focal point, 6 frames per second shooting, up to 25,000 ISO. I shot a few pictures with different ISOs and I've already posted those, and I'm also going to put a link in the description so you can view that video as well. Overall, amazing camera, especially for a camera around $1,200. The ISO performance was just incredible, and a couple of user settings that I thought were were really good. You have your user 1, user 2 setting, you have your twin slot, SD card slot, and the ability to actually change your focal areas right from the external. There's a little button here. You press it and you basically, you move your front dial here, which will go from, it will take you from auto to your single. I obviously always shoot on, I don't use auto, I go with, single. You could go single or dynamic, continuous. If you move the back dial, you can go from auto to single to continuous shooting. And if you choose the setting, let's say you have your continuous, and if you move the front dial, you can go from your single to, let's say, 9 focal points to 21 to the whole 39. So it's a great feature. Saves you a lot of time without you getting into the whole menu system. Let's talk about the user 1, user 2 settings. A couple of people ask, what's the whole purpose of that? Why can't you just change this, your settings while you're shooting it? Well, if you are, let's say, at an event and you have a table setting here and you have your dance floor somewhere else, and you may be using a different setting to take pictures of people, you could be using 60th of a second or 80th of a second, versus all of a sudden something's happening at the dance floor that you want to cover right away. You may not have the time to actually go back into the menu setting, not menu setting, but in your ISO setting and your shutter speed, because you can't capture motion. You may have motion blur if you're doing it at 60th of a second, so you want at least 250, let's say, but then you have less light coming in and you want to compensate that by bumping up your ISO. So let's say you're shooting people at 80th of a second, you're using 800 ISO, and all of a sudden you want to capture somebody dancing or whatever. There's motion involved in it. Right away you can have your setting at, let's say, user 2, where you have your 250th of a second, 2000 ISO, different aperture. You could have your dynamic focus as well. So that way you won't miss that opportunity. Okay, so great feature, especially for people who do a lot of event photography. People also wanted to know the whole purpose of dual slots for your memory card. Personally, I like to have backups for everything. Just like you're doing an event, you don't go there with just one body. You always have to have a backup. If something goes wrong, if your body malfunctions, you should always have a backup. Same thing with your flash. If you go to an event and you have your one body, one lens, one flash, if something goes wrong with flash or body, you're screwed basically. Okay, you can't run down to the store and say, you know what, my flash just died on me. You can't do that. So same thing with me personally. That whole dual slot I think it's a great feature. I could always have a backup. Now, some people don't like to change or miss the opportunity of capturing shots. They don't want to change the battery in the middle of something or change the slot. So for those people, you can have your overflow. You're shooting in one SD card, and when that card gets filled, you can switch to your second automatically. So that twin card is another amazing feature. Overall, the performance was great. Obviously, the quality you're going to get mostly out of your great lenses. But the performance, the ISO performance was incredible. I mean, you get pretty decent picture at 1600 ISO, even at 2000. I mean, you see some noise, but it's minimal. The sample pictures that I took, I did not even take them in RAW on purpose, because I don't want to actually tweak them at all, so they're completely unedited. So you could actually take them in RAW, and let's say in Lightroom you can adjust noise, you can reduce the noise, and do basic color enhancements, and it's just going to look phenomenal. So overall, it's definitely has my approval. Now the question is, if it's better than D90, yes. If it's better than D300S, you have to ask yourself what you're looking for. If you're the first time getting into DSLR photography, this could be overkill for you. You might want to start off with something basic, D3100 maybe, D5000 maybe. But if you've, let's say, already own D90 and you're thinking about upgrading it and you want to know if it has enough features or the quality, the performance, absolutely, absolutely. Matter of fact, even if you currently own D300S, this will definitely be an upgrade for you. The only difference I see is that D300S has the 51 focal points. This has 39. Believe me, you could live with that. It's not like a deal breaker for you. So check out the pictures and tell me what you guys think. I am going to compare this with other Canon models as well, 60D, 70, and see how it flares out. I've heard that Canon performs better. The video, basically, the 1080p, Canon pretty much is doing pretty well, and in image quality, I heard Nikon, the D7000 is doing a lot better. So let's wait and see how that goes. All right, thank you guys.